Broadcasting from the Business RadioX studio in Nashville, Tennessee, it's time for Regions Business Radio Nashville. Regions Business Radio Nashville is presented by Regions Bank. Brave the beginning. Member FDIC.
Welcome to Regions Business Radio Nashville, presented by Regions Bank, member FDIC. I'm your host, Kelley Kee, Executive Vice President with Regions, and we are broadcasting live from our Business RadioX studio set up inside the Regions Bank building in downtown Nashville. As we continue our podcast series centered around key issues and highlighting some very successful local businesses in Nashville and Middle Tennessee markets, we will have a couple of special guests with us today. First, we have Keith Bowling, a veteran commercial banker who has been with Regions for over 18 years. Along with Keith is Rob Dixon, owner of several Servpro franchises in Middle Tennessee. Keith, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about your background and history with the bank.
My name is Keith Bowling. As already introduced, I've been with Regions for a couple decades nearly now. I began my banking odyssey when the consumer portion of the bank, managing branches, and as I went about my day-to-day business, I found myself working more and more with commercial customers in building my branch book of business. After about 5 years in the branch network, found myself working in the commercial department, which is probably my home for life with Regions. Very much enjoy the direct customer contact and helping these business owners meet their needs and find their financial success.
Perfect. And working with customers like Rob, obviously. So,
absolutely.
Rob, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a local, if you'll claim, if Gallatin will be claimed as local. And so I've been doing Servpro for 16 years, and I grew up there in Gallatin, and my running joke is that I was kidnapped in an unmarked green van and woke up and I owned a Servpro, so I'd better figure out how to do a disaster restoration really quickly. And so it was 2006. I had a divinely inspired dinner with a close friend, and he was working at Servpro at the time. And through that conversation, my interest was piqued in Servpro. I was able to find out that there was an opportunity here locally in Nashville, and through the help of many counselors and advisors, and through the help of Regions, we were able to purchase an existing franchise at the time, and fast forward 16 years later, and it's been the hardest thing I've ever done, but the best thing I've ever done, and I look forward to sharing a little bit of our story here with you all today.
Perfect. So, Rob, let's get right into it. I'm sure most people will know a lot about Servpro, whether, again, either from a personal experience or from seeing the vans or the billboards, but really tell us a little bit about not just the disaster recovery, but what other things do you guys have that y'all are currently working on?
80% on any given month, 80%, plus of our business is going to be water and fire smoke mitigation, which is the cleanup end of things. And we have also the restoration end of things. And so that is I say the pretty end of things, the putting everything back, the construction end of things. And so water mitigation is the most common thing that happens in our line of work. And so it's a significant portion of our business mix. And so we've got a strong team that helps take care of that on the cleanup end. Fire and smoke is less common. Fire and smoke is a challenge because it's such an emotional thing for people. And so we have to be really selective and careful in who we bring in to help us with that end, but it's a growing segment of what we do. There's a lot of other things. I think to your point, your question was, what are some of the other things that you do that people might know of? One of the worst things that we can hear from somebody is, well, I wish I knew that you did that because this just happened, 2 weeks ago. Some of the other things that we do are remediation related to mold and mildew in businesses and homes. We also do deodorization. We do specialty cleaning. So unique things like dry ice blasting inside of a parking garage because a piece of construction equipment caught fire, and we have to go in and use these large-scale machines. Think sandblasting, but with dry ice, so there's no residual, debris or anything to clean up. And so going in and cleaning concrete back and deodorizing in the process in order to make it look like it never even happened. We sometimes say from water to weird, and so if you don't know who else to call call a Servpro. Because if we don't directly do that service, oftentimes we know people that do perform that service. And so we've had some odd requests over the years. Hey, my dog got sprayed with a skunk outside this morning when I was drinking my coffee and going to get the paper, and it ran right past me into my house and touched every single surface, I think, in my home. There's a pro for that. There's a Servpro for that. So call Servpro. That's something that we do.
Make it like it never happened.
That's right. Like it never even happened. We have invested a lot over the years to help people remember that phrase. Our goal is to become synonymous with the industry, and we do that by providing quality service, time in, time out. We're only as good as our last job, right? And so we are focused on providing a great customer experience in the midst of a unexpected event, right? 99% of the people that call us did not plan on this happening at their business or at their home. And so if we can help them walk through that, the people that we hire, the people that Servpro hires have to be not only subject matter expert and technician, they also have to be pastor, counselor, shoulder to cry on, because most people have not experienced something like a water damage at their home, God forbid a fire in their home or their business. And so we have to walk them through that. And so it's a unique individual that we're seeking out to help do that. And so some of the other things that we do cleaning wise, think carpet cleaning, air duct cleaning for your business or for your home. Indoor air quality is really important. We spend the majority of our time indoors. We should breathe clean air, right? There are other services that we provide on occasion, but those are the core and near core businesses. Core and near core job types that we see, and then construction. Following the cleanup comes the repair, and so our goal is to make it like it never even happened, so that often whenever we perform this service, the customer's business or their home looks even better than it did before, and that's a goal. Is to when they come in and they go, I hate that this happened, but I'm really glad that I called Servpro because this is the result. So if we can deliver quality results day in, day out, time in, time out, then people will become raving fans, and then our business will grow manageably and profitably, and we'll be able to continue on this path we're on.
Certainly. So that's a good overview of why Servpro from a customer's perspective, but so why Servpro from your perspective of why you wanted to buy into this franchise? You talked about how you got into it, but why Servpro? There's lots of different franchises, lots of different business opportunities, particularly here in Nashville. So take me back to 15, 16 years ago and say, this is what I really want to do. How did you kind of come to that?
The appeal for me had multiple prongs, but the ability to help people through an unfamiliar situation, go from disaster to like it never even happened, and walk with them through that process, that was appealing for us, to be able to put groceries on the table for our team while taking care of people and a real need that they have. It's their biggest investment, whether it's their home or whether it's their business, and help them to take care of home and be that shoulder to cry on, be that pastor or counselor, and help them through that situation was really appealing for me, because we all want to have significance in what we do. We want to have meaning in what we do, fulfillment, and I share that with our team when they come, and I often have to remind them, because no matter what you do, oftentimes you can become desensitized to it, but we talk often about the human element of what we do, and that we're not dealing with numbers, or we're dealing with real people that are really in a difficult situation. And so our team gets to be a hero, and hey, if they're working in the office, they're not just pushing papers around on a desk. They're helping a customer walk through a difficult situation, an unfamiliar situation. Our communication, our technical expertise, the quality result that we deliver, minding our P's and Q's when we're there with them, listening to their story, all those things roll into a great customer experience for them that will help them be glad that they called Servpro. Not glad that it happened, but glad that they called Servpro. And so that was a big part of it. Originally, like I said, from Gallatin, and so I think the biggest reason that I'm in this is I think that this was a door that I was supposed to walk through. I think that my faith is a big part of my story, and that I feel like God opened this door for me to walk through, gave me the courage to keep walking through. And so fast forward 16 years, here I am, and I don't think it's by accident that it's helping people recover from disaster. We are in the business of restoration, and so there's a lot of parallels there. And so we're providing for our team. So my team takes care of our customer. It's a simple philosophy that I gained my wife when she was getting her postgraduate degree. She worked for Starbucks, and Howard Schultz has a very simple philosophy, which is if I take care of the team, or if the company takes care of the team will take care of the customer, and the customer will take care of the company. So we've adopted and adapted that. And so I see our team as our biggest customer. So if I can take care of them, I'm trusting that they'll take care of our customers. Customers will take care of our team. So being able to see that grow from me and 2 people and a dream to now me and, nearly 40 others and a dream has been really fulfilling as well. So that's another why Servpro. And I'd always wanted to own my own business, but to be able to buy a business that comes with a framework and a franchise was just great. It was a great opportunity. It's not by accident that Servpro is the number 8 franchise out there. We've been number 1 in our category for as long as we can remember, but Servpro is the top, one of the top brands that is in the franchise 500, number 8. And so I think that just is a testament to the support that we have, not only in the headquarters, but in each other as well as owners. We can come together and call each other, support each other, however that manifests itself that day or that week. And so that support was also appealing for me in the why Servpro. So that's kind of the why
overall,
behind it.
just the overall success of the brand, right? I mean, if you are the outlier, for example, if for some reason you're the one who takes care of your customers, nobody else does, hurts the brand, but clearly you have a very good understanding, or everybody within your franchise has a very good understanding of what they need to do to maintain these customer relationships. So that's always good when you got the entire company pulling together.
Absolutely. And we get that sense, we just came back from our convention. It was last 2 weeks ago. And Servpro's been around for 54 years. And one of the things that they started at the very beginning was when they started having conventions, they really highly promoted the attendance and did a lot of different things to encourage the franchisees to be at the convention. And so that has grown throughout the years, and it's a time to come together and collaborate as owners and key members of each team. And so that benefits, the kind of the all ships rise together philosophy. And just spoke with our chief human resource officer. She's relatively new to the team at HQ up there, and she came in and provided perspective. And she goes, that was one of my biggest takeaways, was convention was such an amazing experience. There were the camaraderie and collaboration and synergy that you feel there, but also the families that you see there. It was a family event. And so it's great to be a part of an organization that is, in this day and age, it's still God, family, country, Servpro. Feel like we've got our priorities in line, and so that's been really great to be a part of, and so exciting to think about what may be down the line for us.
Yeah, and so from your perspective, why Regions? I mean, there's roughly 100 or so logoed banks inside this Middle Tennessee corridor, so very successful. Probably have your pick of banks. Why Regions? And really, I guess more importantly, why Keith? I mean, that may be a question a lot of people are asking. Why Keith? So what's what would you how would you say your partnership developed there?
I will interrupt.
Oh, okay.
And say that I have an advantage over most bankers because, like Rob and Servpro for that matter, I am from Gallatin, Tennessee as well. So
Let's go Green Wave.
Maybe that's it.
Probably the main reason.
That's
right,
probably that's right. Well, no, that's an easy question for me. The relationship and the support that I have from Regions that comes through every time I talk to Keith and Patsy and the whole team. And so it has been. It's kind of like if you're going to battle, you're going to war, they're in the foxhole with me. They're not back there going, good luck out there, man, go get them. They're in the foxhole with me going, what do you need? And we're about to, blow the whistle and jump up and run across no man's land here. And so that has always been evident whenever he calls, just the genuine care and concern that he has for our business, for me and my family personally. And so we've just, over the years, we've been able to develop that just as, as time goes on, well over a decade now. And so I feel like our best days are ahead of us. And so my history with Regions goes back to my very first checking account, when I think I was 11, and it was Commerce Union Bank at the time, but Regions acquired Commerce Union. And so my history goes back a long way. So yeah, that's a relatively easy question for me to answer.
Well, good.
I would say together we're about to head into potentially our second recession and numerous transactions, but all along the way it's been a partnership. It's been understanding and recognizing needs and formulating solutions together.
Yeah, just like you're a specialist in helping those individual customers kind of go through something maybe they've never been through. That's kind of where we come in, and we're not physically restoring something, but we're there to provide that advice, guidance, education, and you're really good at what you do. We're really good at what I do. We probably wouldn't be very good cleaning up a house, so that's probably a good thing we're not involved in that segment of it.
Well, indirectly, you guys are doing that. So, yeah, that as far as being able to come in, and whenever we've had a need, and Keith and I strategize, whether it's just on regular meetings that we have, or if it's a need that is more acute, bringing the subject matter expertise to the equation to help me go, well, here's a service that we offer, or a product that we offer, or, hey, this is coming up, and we want you to come attend this seminar on fraud, and this is really important. You need to be aware of this, and come in and go, wow, okay, that was really timely to understand, and we made some changes in what we're doing in order to try to get out ahead of things. And so when we built our building, that was probably our biggest accomplishment to date. It's kind of been building blocks over the years. Start with a line of credit back here. Then we looked at, hey, maybe we want to take this. I guess at first it was hey, we want to take this building and turn it into a, creative office space. And he said, sure, let's figure it out. And then right in the middle of that, the opportunity came up, and we pivoted and said, Keith, I want to buy these other Servpro locations in Nashville. And he said, all right, well, let's figure it out. And we put together a package to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And then, not too long after we acquired those locations, I said, it doesn't make sense for us to take this building and lease it out to others. We can now consolidate and run everything out of this central location over in Midtown. And he said, okay, let's go. Show me the plan. And we were able to pull together, and he was, central part of our team that helped to pull this off. And this building represents our biggest investment in our brand and our people in Servpro to date, and in the hopes that it will have, pay off long term. And so it's been a progression, building blocks along the way. And so I don't know that there's anything that may top this from a dollar amount. But, no. We'll see. We're
well, that'll come when you're finally done. You'll have accumulated more than you need.
There you go.
Next step will be retirement.
Talk a lot about your team, and obviously Keith is a valued member of our team, and so to hear you say that, I hear that from all of his customers, quite frankly. And so it's good to validate that it's not just a few. Everybody says the same thing. So we're just as like you feel about your team, we feel the same way about Keith. But for me personally, I probably talk to 200 plus customers, prospects every year. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this question, because it is something that comes up on literally every single call that we talk about, that we meet, is how do you find your people? And more importantly, how do you keep your people? Because that seems to be the biggest struggle of whether it's a franchise, whether it's a large corporation, whether it's the small mom and pop. How do you do that?
That's the $1 million question. If I had the silver bullet, I would be on the lecture circuit, charging about $100,000 a speech. And no. Over time, we have come up with I don't know what you want to call it, a secret sauce or our solution. It's a few different components, but one is we have a strong brand, and so we tout that brand. I think that the next generation of team member is looking for authenticity, and so they're not just gonna take your ad and go, well, that's all I'm going to go off of. They're going to ask around about you. They're going to check you out online, look at your social media, and they're going to do a comprehensive search, because people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They're going to go, what is your, do you have a transcendent cause? Do you have is special, why I work at Servpro. And so we have to tell our story. I have to also be a salesman, because what's unemployment out there, like 0.6% in Nashville? I don't even know. Very low, very low. And so I have to be a salesman. I have to say, come alongside and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Find fulfillment in what you do, and come be a part of a team that actually, that genuinely cares about you. We try to exhibit that through the different things that we provide to our team, just that support that we provide to them, seeing them as our biggest customer. How do we find them? One of our biggest things that we've done is an internal referral bonus. And so incentivizing Kelley to go, okay, I understand what it's like working here, the rigors of the job, the unvarnished version, and I got this guy that I work out with, or I got this lady that, our kids, know each other, whatever. We do an internal referral bonus to our team to help spread the word. And so that's been really helpful for us. We have made various connections with the military, and that's been important for us as well. We've got veterans on our staff. We promote that. We're a veteran-friendly organization. Hire Vets. There's the transition assistance program at any Army base that's out there, military base that's out there, the Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program. So that's a part of our story as well, connecting with those individuals that are transitioning out of the military. And so also the appeal of Servpro being an industry that has stability, in good times and in lean times. People are going to take care of their business property. They're going to take care of their home. They're going to make sure that gets taken care of. And so there is stability there. So that's appealing for people as well. So that's kind of our secret sauce in finding talent.
Sounds like it's definitely a grassroots effort to just making sure you're getting the best quality people, because, again, it is so important to your customers to have that person who can not just come in and fix what the damage is, but to also help them through the process. And I think that's a big key.
Right. Absolutely. So it's kind of a unique individual that, we can say, hey, I need you to go to, this big fancy building downtown and talk to these high-powered people, and, then go actually do the work, right?
Sure.
Go to Belmead Boulevard and talk to, the John homeowner and explain everything that you're going to do, and then say, all right, Mr. Homeowner, I'm going to go get in your crawl space now. So that's a unique animal, and we've found a lot of them, and they're wonderful. That's the best part of Servpro is our people.
No, I would agree. So, taking you back 16 years from today, roughly 16 years, what would you say from the time you purchased this? What's been your biggest accomplishment in this journey you're on, and then also what would you say is maybe your biggest learning opportunity that you've had over the last 16 years?
I would say biggest accomplishment is the team we've been able to assemble, and seeing them develop from just got here or neophyte all the way to subject matter expert that is invaluable, don't know what I would do without them, and see their progression through the years and see how that times 38 people, how that has impacted the service that we're able to offer our customers. And because of that, one of the biggest accomplishments is repeat customers that we have. So that's a validation point for us each time, whether it's a commercial customer that has various needs that recur, or if it's an insurance agent that calls us with, all of their different policyholders. So those repeat customers are big and validation points for us. And so, yeah, those are our biggest accomplishments.
And I think it's pretty important too. This is not a transaction, right? I mean, this is not something where I go and I buy X off the store, I go pay for it, I'm done. May never do that again. This is something that is important. It's probably in most cases their biggest asset that's been impacted. So this is a big deal. This is something that takes a while, and something that these people really need to understand and have good feel for in all areas of what they're trying to accomplish. So thinking about that, what would the future of Servpro? What do you see in your future? What you have franchises now, you got a big building, downtown or in Midtown. Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
I still have this Norman Rockwell painting in my mind of, we've got 3 kids, and I have this thought of, well, maybe they go to school, and then they decide to come back and work with Dad for a while. that may happen, that may not happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but my plan is for manageable, profitable growth through mastering where we are. If we master where we are, opportunity will follow. That's been our story for 16 years, providing good customer service, seeking to give great customer service. And if we master where we are, opportunity will follow. And the plan is for that to be manageable growth, profitable growth, which will allow to continue this quest that we're on. I'd like to see our construction division grow. We've taken on more commercial opportunities, residential remodels and additions. Those are some areas where we've got some focus. Growth in key lines like commercial. The world is coming to Nashville, and there's a lot going on in this city, and so we do a lot of work in the commercial space. We do a lot of work in the residential space, but other areas that we are seeing growth that we'd like to be able to continue is in our fire and smoke mitigation. Storm is another key area that we would like to see some growth in the years to come. So think traveling and helping your fellow Servpro locations in, places that get hit by a hurricane, or maybe there was a microburst and it rained and there's a flood or even a freeze. So having a team that would travel to support those areas impacted. Servpro does that better than any other company out there because of the footprint we have and the capacity that we have. And so being able to focus there. We've also, as we've built out the building with Keith and Regions, we are working to offer a valet-style moving and storage solution for our commercial customers. Our building is about a mile from downtown, and to be just like you'd park your car. There may be needs in the commercial space for customers to go, man, I wish those 4 rooms in our hotel were not filled with all this stuff that we have to just keep. If we could keep it nearby and turn that into revenue generating space, so to be able to call Servpro and make it like it never even happened, to come pick up those things, inventory, and store them nearby, and you call us when you need it. So that's how we're going to build out a portion of the building that we've built together with Regions. And so I would say strengthening the Servpro brand by staying humble and hungry and delivering quality work through quality teammates and great customer experiences is what I see in our future.
Well, I applaud you to become that family-owned, family-operated business. I'm pretty sure if either of my kids decided to come work with me, it would be my last day here at the bank. So I don't think that would work out well for us, but certainly applaud those who can do it. So one final question before we let you go, and I know you're obviously very busy, and again, thanks for spending some time with us today. But I'm a young entrepreneur, maybe not Servpro, maybe something else. What advice would you give a young person just starting out who is interested in starting their own business or franchise location?
Well, one of the things I would say is know yourself. And Socrates told us to know thyself, right? So if you know yourself, for me, I ended up just being wired up to, this is often not work for me. It is work, and often it is not enjoyable, but that is what it is. Most people experience those things, but if you find what you enjoy, then it's the phrase is, you'll never work a day in your life. Right. But so find something that you enjoy, that you're wired up to do. So if you understand yourself by understanding how you're wired up, your behavioral traits and things like that, mine just happened to align with being a Servpro owner. And so I took that as validation that divine inspiration was accurate. And so I would say, if you can know yourself, you can also hire to your weaknesses. My weaknesses are things like consistency, and I'm good at coming up with ideas and putting them out there and putting them into play, but consistency and follow-up is where I struggle. So I can hire to that by bringing people that's their strength to the team. And so being able to identify people's strengths and plug them into an organization is key. I would say that one of the things that I would tell my 15, 16-year-old self would be to focus on your team as your customer and trust them to take care of your customer. I didn't do that for the first, whatever you want to call it, my first half, my first season. And so being able to put the right people on the bus and on the right seats on the bus. And if they've got enjoyment in what they do, fulfillment in what they do, they're compensated well, and they are making a difference and leaving a legacy, then, I think that's a recipe for success. And so I would say also be authentic, be who you are, and that genuineness in what you do will come through. And whether you're interviewing somebody for a job, whether you're talking to a prospective customer about, signing an agreement with your company, being genuine will come through. Nashville is still a big, small town. And so we want to continue to hold on to that essence here. And so that's why people are coming here, is because we're friendly, we're genuine, authentic, we care. And I think and we also have no state income tax. And so I think that that will help us all, right? Because people are moving here every day. I don't know what the number is today, but they're moving here every day. But that next generation of team member is looking for authenticity, and I think that that would serve somebody well in what they are pursuing. And related to a franchise model, there are a lot of options out there, but finding a fit for you, again, back to know yourself. The franchise gave me a foundation and a framework and a plan with enough flexibility to be able to, that there's a tagline that says independently owned and operated. So if I want to try this or try that or adopt this or adapt that, I have that flexibility as long as I kind of stay consistent with the brand standards. And so finding something that interests them but will provide the support that you need to be able to be successful. So that's what I found in Servpro, and that's why I think Servpro one day will be the top brand that you can buy in a franchise.
Well, certainly can't argue with the success that you've had or the way that you've gotten there. So congratulations on really a great 16 years, and looking forward for more to come. I want to thank our listeners to Regions Business Radio Nashville, presented by Regions Bank, member FDIC. You can enjoy our episodes anytime by visiting businessradiox.com and selecting the Nashville studio, and then click on Regions Business Radio. This program is also available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts. Please be sure to subscribe to the program so that you don't miss any of our future episodes. I'm Kelley Kee, and you've been listening to Regions Business Radio Nashville on Business RadioX.
Regions Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. This information is general in nature and is not intended to be accounting, legal, tax, investment, or financial advice. Regions believes this information to be accurate when recorded, but it cannot ensure that it will remain up to date. Consult an appropriate professional concerning your specific situation. The information should not be construed as a recommendation of a specific course of action for any individual or business. All Regions products and services are subject to qualification requirements, terms, conditions, fees, and credit approval. Experiences and opinions stated by customers are their own. Customers were told in advance they might be featured in an ad when they were asked about their experiences with Regions.